Bankruptcy and some things you can do with bankruptcy that maybe you didn't realize can be done. And very important topic this morning about saving your house.
Yes, we use bankruptcy, specifically Chapter 13, which is not the normal kind of bankruptcy people think about, so that they can save their home if it's in a foreclosure.
Now, what is a foreclosure? Just to clarify what that is.
A foreclosure is a lawsuit that's filed by the mortgage company when your house payments are way behind. Someone comes to your door, knocks on it, and says, here's some papers. They're about an inch thick, and the mortgage company is suing you to take your house away from you.
Okay, and how far behind is this typically?
That can vary. We've seen it be 6 months behind, and we've seen mortgage companies wait a year or 2 years behind. And I think those are properties where they've had an inspector go out and kind of suggest to them, you're not going to be real excited to get this particular property back. And so they don't act very quickly to get it. But I would say on average, probably 7 to 8 months of missed payments will result in a foreclosure lawsuit.
Are there states where this cannot happen? I've always heard, and maybe they're myths, that like Florida, you can't lose your house, or are there states like that?
Those are definitely myths.
Okay. Anywhere you can lose your house.
In every state in the United States, if you don't pay your mortgage, you can lose your house.
But there is a way to save your house in case somebody did serve those papers.
Yes, and a lot of people, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but they'll use the mediation service that the state set up when we were in the foreclosure crisis, and it serves a purpose, and some people get some benefit out of it. And a lot of people will call their mortgage company and attempt to go through the various loan modification processes. A lot of those just don't work. A lot of them, the mortgage company just flat out says no after the people have turned in all their paperwork repeatedly, or it's been lost and they had to resubmit. They just declined. Even if you're declined, you can still save your house by filing Chapter 13 bankruptcy, because you can take all the back payments that you've accumulated, all the mortgage expenses and fees that they've paid their lawyer, and you can make that like one lump debt and then pay it back over time, as much as 5 years on monthly payments.
In addition to your mortgage payment.
And then you would resume making your regular mortgage payment. So that's really important. The person has to, first off, be able to afford that payment. So usually what we'll have is a person that got into the foreclosure because there was a loss of income for a while.
Okay.
If it's a married couple, one of the spouses maybe lost their income, the business closed up, and they were unemployed for a while. Sometimes somebody gets sick and is off of work for quite some time, but when they get back to working and making the regular income they're accustomed to making, and if they can afford to pay that house payment, they might be a good candidate for Chapter 13. They still have to be able to afford to pay back the money they haven't paid, but over a period of 5 years, for many people, that's doable.
Can the bank reject that?
No, the bank cannot say we're not participating. They can't prevent you from utilizing this. And actually, I think most mortgage companies probably would be glad if a person did that, because they really just want the money. They really don't want the house. They've got plenty of them, and they don't want another one. And if it works, they get paid back, the mortgage gets back in good standing, and everybody can be happy.
Now you have this debt that you've compiled here. You have the back payments that you have to make over the next 5 years. Can you throw any other debts into that bin too, or not?
Sure. If you're in Chapter 13 bankruptcy, then all of your debts in this process will be in the pot. And in many cases, you will pay back not only your back mortgage payment, but your miscellaneous credit card debts, some medical bills you might have, and other debts. They'll get taken care of while you're in it, to the extent that you've got money to do it. So you can kind of wrap everything up together and help yourself straighten out your financial situation so you can get back on right track and save your home. It can also be used to save your automobile if you'd missed some payments and it was falling behind. So there's a lot of good things that can be done with Chapter 13, but saving your house out of a foreclosure, I think, is probably one of the biggest things and most important that everybody should know about. And they shouldn't listen to the mortgage companies when they're on the phone talking to the different representatives, and they tell them, well, you don't need to go to an attorney, we'll work with you. And they might work with you, but you definitely should go to an attorney, and don't listen to them when they say you don't need to, because you need to protect yourself. And so you should go to a lawyer that does a lot of these foreclosures and knows what they're doing. It doesn't necessarily cost a lot of money. In Iowa, you have certain rights when you're in foreclosure to have it take a certain period of time. And at minimum, it would probably take at least 9 months if you had a lawyer just doing a very simple filing with the court.
Right.
And during that time, you can be straightening out your situation and maybe getting set up so you can go into a Chapter 13, getting your ducks in order. But if you do nothing, and the mortgage company says, no, we're not going to modify your loan, then you could be facing a sheriff's sale and having no options because you've cut it so close. Nobody's out there and available to help you any longer. And too many people do that. We get phone calls a day or two before the sheriff's sale is going to happen and go, I was told to call you that you can do Chapter 13 bankruptcy and we can save my house. Well, you know, if you'd called me like 3 weeks earlier, we could have. And sometimes, you know, I'll be able to, but they're leaving very little time.
Okay, somebody wants to get a hold of you. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can call me at 255-1855, and I'd be happy to talk to you on the phone. You can find us on the internet at www.iowa-bankruptcylaw.com or visit us at our new office at 700 2nd Avenue.
Over on 2nd.
There you go.
Good job. All right, man. Thank you for the information. Appreciate that
Thank
so
you.
much. It is 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. We'll be right